Welcome, ladies and gents. We had the Qatar Grand Prix, and that was a slow burner, wasn't it? The first 30 laps, not much action at all, and then we got it just exploded, that race, didn't it? 3 safety cars. Zhou Guanyu picks up some points finally for the Sauber team. They don't go over the season pointless. That would have been massively embarrassing. But yeah, 2 big points for Zhou Guanyu. Fantastic. It's brilliant for him. Yeah, I was going to go through all the action, but I'm not going to do that. We'll just talk about the main sort of issues throughout the race, and it started slowly, didn't it? Then we had Yuki Tsunoda, who was in a great position. Lap 13, 14, 15, he just got passed by everyone. Lap 20, he got passed by Valtteri Bottas, who that Sauber was actually quick in the race, wasn't it? So their upgrades really worked here, and they've done it, got themselves potentially fighting for points. Bottas was agonizingly close and finally getting a point, wasn't he? But Lando Norris with that massively harsh penalty, which we'll get to in a moment, but it all came down to the big decision, wasn't it? The wing mirror fell off the Williams, landed in the middle of the racetrack. We went 2 or 3 laps. We got the double waved yellows at one point. Lando Norris didn't lift. Max Verstappen just lift. The fact that Max Verstappen lifted and Norris didn't, who was behind him, even though it was close, I think it was the real reason that Lando Norris got that penalty, because it was so close. When you look at the onboards, when the yellow or the double yellow shown, I mean, Norris was only just near the light of the double yellow. So that Max Verstappen seen the yellow flag and lifted just ever so slightly into the braking zone. He didn't lift at the yellow flag, he lifted past it into the braking zone. Norris, had he done the same, would have, no penalty at all. The problem is that the penalty is ridiculously harsh when you look at the scenario and the impact and the safety danger. But the rules are, if you don't slow under safety double yellows, the rule book says it's a 10-second stop-go penalty. It's extremely harsh because it's extremely serious, a double wave yellow. And well, it all changed from there, didn't it? Valtteri Bottas moving over for the Ferrari hit the mirror, it exploded effectively, and then we got debris all over the car, over the track, and then we got Lewis Hamilton and Carlos Sainz picking up punches, and then we got a safety car a couple of laps after that even. So the fact that this mirror was on track for at least 2 laps, we've got a new race director in there. I mean, the spotlight on him is heavy now, isn't it? Because the other guy got kicked out for the mistakes we've seen potentially in Brazil. This one was equally as bad, if not worse than that. The fact that there was debris lying on track right in the middle of the pit straight. We got 2 drivers that suffered punctures from that. Could have been catastrophic actually for both of them, depending on where they could have got them punctures, and real life-threatening and serious issues there. The fact that they got punctures, we then got, it was obviously serious enough that Lando Norris got a 10-second stop-go penalty for the not slowing in the double yellow, to not throw a safety car and a VSC, and that is, in my opinion, even more serious when you've got debris in the middle of the straight, waiting for someone to hit it. Someone did hit it. We got 2 punches, like I've said, and then we got all the drama that went on after it. So the fact that Norris got punished for it, I think the race director should surely get some punishment for that. But then who takes his space? I mean, everybody is leaving left, right, and centre out the FIA, and that leaves this sort of chasm of issues, doesn't it? That these are what sort of lights up. It couldn't have come at a worse time or something like this for the FIA, when they're trying to clear stewards out of the way for whatever reason, and the issues that are going on there. It doesn't look good for the race. But enough on that story. It was, Yuki Tsunoda early doors getting the man that was getting past, and then we've seen Pierre Gasly profit brilliantly, and holding off Carlos Sainz. We've seen Lando Norris then on a charge from his stop-go past Valtteri Bottas, which was a real shame, wasn't it? I was hoping he'd just hold on to that. If the McLaren wasn't the one charging through, I think he would have had enough pace in that to hold on to that, but it was Norris who was absolutely flying after that, wasn't he? He came out P14, effectively last, 15 seconds behind P14, and to close up that much and take P10 and the fastest lap, two crucial points for McLaren. They're now just 21 points ahead of Ferrari going into the last race of the season. And we'll get straight to the 3 good and the 3 bad. Starting with that, Zhou Guanyu, a P8. First points, he managed it so well, didn't he? He had a comfortable gap behind him, wasn't really fast enough to make up P7, but the fact that he picked up P8 was incredible. It looked like it was possibly just a P9, P10 potentially, but obviously that Lando Norris stop-go really catapulted him up. There was 5 DNFs and some big ones, wasn't it? Sergio Perez, who was going well, got that DNF in front of him. He dropped back. We got Nico Hülkenberg as well, who was in and around him. That dropped back, and then he got the crucial strategy calls, and they passed Kevin Magnussen in the Haas. He held off them behind really well, didn't he? So an absolutely tremendous job, and so proud and happy for him to get them points, because it looked like he was the man under pressure. Performances hadn't really been great, but to be the first man to pick up some points ahead of the more experienced Bottas, he was the one looking like there was no way or anywhere for him to go. Potentially there's a Ferrari reserve driver seat for him, so let's see if he can pick that up. But massive 2 points for Sauber. Glad they don't go home with 0 points this season. Well deserved. Second of the 3 good, Charles Leclerc's P2, and it all came down to his pass on Oscar Piastri, didn't it? Crucial on the restart. And then I thought, the McLaren looked really fast. Ferrari wasn't really in any DRS to help him off, but that wasn't as strong as we've seen in the sprint race, did we? As soon as you were out of DRS, the man with DRS behind looked like he'd be right up there with a chance to pass, but that didn't materialise in the race today at all, what we've seen in the sprint. And had we seen a similar sort of scenario to the sprint, I think we would have got a lot more overtakes. We didn't really get that. It was a bit more easier to block. The DRS was shortened, wasn't it? So it meant that the DRS wasn't as strong as we've seen in previous years. It would get you close enough to the braking point, and you had to make it under braking, and made it, the defence a little bit more easier. Better for when the overtakes did take place, but didn't really overtake. You want the DRS to help you get close, not do the overtaking for you. And it's kind of like almost the right balance, nearly. But yeah, it was a fantastic P2 from Charles Leclerc. Managed to just keep Oscar Piastri just 1 second out of the DRS zone, and much better than he protected him. When you look at the early part of the race, it didn't look like they would be taking any points out of McLaren at all. It all just turned on its head with that Lando Norris 10-second stop go, the restart jumping Oscar Piastri. It's a shame that Carlos Sainz couldn't get Pierre Gasly, because that would have been even more points and making the battle when it comes to Abu Dhabi that little bit closer. McLaren still got a comfortable 21-point lead in that, so I think they should still take the constructors, but Ferrari have made it difficult, and they should be fast in Abu Dhabi next time out. But a brilliant P2 from Charles Leclerc this weekend. Third of the 3 good, I'm going for Pierre Gasly with that P5. He held off Carlos Sainz brilliantly well. Massively benefited from the safety car, and that Gillette Perez jumped him up perfectly back into that high points position. They move now back into P6 with a big 10 points haul from this. I know Kevin Magnussen with his P9 with his 2 points, crucial in sort of limiting the damage done by Pierre Gasly's P5. So that's going close down into Abu Dhabi now, isn't it? So they're 5 points now ahead of Haas. So absolutely brilliant from Pierre Gasly from there. And then a shout out to Fernando Alonso, P7, a fantastic shout out, wasn't it, for him? So absolutely brilliant job. Aston Martin looked absolutely nowhere, and so Fernando Alonso to pull off a P7 is absolutely brilliant, I think. So fantastic job there. So it's almost like 4 goods, isn't it? Because there was some incredible stories the way this race just panned out in the end. Let's get to 3 bad, and the first of them is Lewis Hamilton. this is one of them absolutely dreadful races for him, isn't he? A bad start. He got a false start, didn't he? It was so close though, but he did get a 5-second penalty for that. And it was milliseconds in it on the jump start. He didn't really benefit at all. He stopped, and then it was a really poor stop, dropped 3 places at the start. And then an unlucky puncture as well, didn't he? Really disappointing from them. He pitted, and then under the safety car, he sort of braked really late, didn't he? And Norris complaining that he brake tested him, but he had a pit lane speeding infringement as well. So another penalty there, and after that, he just wanted to park the car and call it a day. Again, he just doesn't want to be in that. The season can't come close, or the end of the season can't come fast enough for Lewis Hamilton, which is a real shame because his career at Mercedes has been absolutely fantastic. So to end in the way the last couple of races that we've seen in Brazil, he just wanted to park it and leave it, call it a day and go. It's sort of the same this weekend, hasn't he? Even though last time out in Vegas he was slightly better, although really disappointed with qualifying race day. He was more happier. And this weekend he's just been miffed, hasn't he? How he's so much slower than George Russell. Some cryptic messages of things outside of his control of not being fast. I'm not sure what he was referring to there, but overall this one was a bad weekend for Lewis Hamilton. Second of the 3 bad is Nico Hülkenberg with a really scruffy race. He took 2 guys out at the start, and then he just wasn't fast at all after that, was he? He was running way back. It was Kevin Magnussen, the man that was the one taking the lead in that Haas team this weekend, wasn't he? And it's normally unlike Nico Hülkenberg to see so scruffy. And then we dropped it all on his own on lap 39 when he went into the gravel trap. DNF, disappointing. That was a 3rd safety car there from him, but a really difficult, scruffy weekend from him where, Magnussen has picked up some points, and it's crucial now when they're battle for 6th place that they do take points home. Really contrasting race from what he had in the sprint to this race for main race day, isn't it? What a difference a day makes for him. And third of the 3 bad, I'm going for Liam Lawson. He had a really scruffy race, isn't he? A poor start. He nearly took Valtteri Bottas out, didn't he, at a twitch, and then ran really wide. Bottas was wise and managed to avoid him on that, and then from there on he was really slow. They went for the Hail Mary on the softs because effectively at that point he had absolutely nothing to lose. It looked at one point that it might work out for them. They were making up some good places, and then the softs dropped off massively fast. I was surprised at how quickly they dropped off. It was lap 10, 11 on them was all that they went, which was a little bit surprising for me. I thought they'd do more on that, but clearly the best tyre to be on at that stage was the mediums, and I'm surprised none of the top guys, Leclerc or Lando Norris, where before his penalty went for that medium to try and make it difficult for Max Verstappen on the restart, because he would have had that difference then with Max on the hards and him on the mediums. He could have got past Fernando Alonso's seen and shown that medium was the right tyre. It lasted to the end, lower fuel loads, and that was a big surprise for me in the race, that none of them, especially someone like Oscar Piastri, Carlos Sainz, these guys didn't just throw that Hail Mary, and they're the ones that you kind of see make them calls. George Russell was the one that wanted that. He was really disappointed with his team to say, why have you thrown them the hards? They were absolutely awful in the first place. How do you think they're going to get any better this time round? It wasn't, was it? But there we have it. That's the 3 good, the 3 bad, and all action in the end in that Qatar race. The first 30 laps were particularly boring, I'd say. You were kind of just waiting for something to happen. A wing barrier falling off the Williams. Again, more damaged parts for them. Feel sorry for the Williams guys, don't we? Alex Albon went for the softs, didn't work for him. Franco Colapinto crashed into turn 1. Some more incidents. That's sort of 16 incidents for the Williams so far this season out of 23 races. That's just 7 clean races where they've gone away without any accidents, which is absolutely ridiculous. Is this the most accident-prone car race we've seen or season for an absolute age, isn't it? Disappointing from them, and more repair works to be done within a few days before we head to Abu Dhabi. And there we have it. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe and comment as always. Watch out for the driver ratings video coming shortly. We've got a short week, isn't it? We're straight to Abu Dhabi next weekend. The action will be getting going soon. Watch out for the Abu Dhabi preview be coming shortly, early in the week. I think the Tuesday upload predicted for that, so bear with me. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe and comment as always. See you next time.